we all know that we have a role to play, especially as marketers. Manufacturing uses a lot of electricity, uses a lot of energy. You use a lot of natural resources, water, paper, trees, and also, of course, energy prices are volatile. So how can you stabilize those energy prices? Right now, our company, we offset 100% of our energy with Greenie certified wind power. We work with Renewable Choice. They're a partner of Whole Foods and Burt's Bees. But again, those are offsets, and they help. They obviously help these renewable energy developments fund their development. The U.S. EPA, the Green Power Partnership, requires that all green power partners buy their offsets from new farms. But we're obviously looking for other ways. We're exploring solar energy on our roof, which would help reduce our energy costs because we would no longer have delivery fees. As companies need to be looking at all these things, of course. But then, obviously, when it comes to the marketing of it and the printing of it, using renewable energy, that's one piece. But I have on this slide 5 steps to greening your print projects. And this can be your brochures and sales literature, but it can also be your direct mail. And these are things that we've seen over the past several years. Research has shown, both ours as well as those of our peers in the industry. The best way to go green is to choose papers made with a high degree of post-consumer recycled fiber. This is important because you use less energy and less water, and you create less emissions by using recycled paper than creating paper from virgin sources. Using renewable energy, like I discussed, such as wind-generated power in the production process. Now, we talked a little bit about eco-logos earlier in the presentation, but choosing papers with FSC certified fiber. FSC stands for Forest Stewardship Council, and it means that it tracks the chain of custody of the paper from the forests that they were planted for the actual purposes of paper production all the way to the printed piece. So we're looking to make sure that the paper is created in a responsible manner. Consider using vegetable-based inks. The reason being is that not only is the vegetable oil refined in the U.S., but it also actually makes the recycling process easier. And then choosing papers made with processed chlorine-free or elemental chlorine-free pulps because it creates less pollution down the line. Now, this slide I want to focus a lot on. It is about communication and transparency. The really important things, and Scott and Randy covered these both, is the importance of transparency, the importance of third-party references, and the importance of specificity. You can't just make blanket claims about, oh, this is green, I'm a green company because I'm using green print or some other green materials or green packaging. You really need to be clear about what you're doing, use the correct logos, use the correct percentages of post-consumer content, use all the correct numbers and statistics, but actually get those verified by a third party. And the best one, and the recommendation we would use for all marketers, is the one overseen by Environmental Defense. It's called Paper Calculator, and it's accessible on Environmental Defense's website, edf.org, or you could also go to papercalculator.org. And the reason we like this, not only does it break down what the environmental benefits are from going green using post-consumer content in your print production, but also it's verified by a third party. And Environmental Defense has been a leading crusader for the environment, and it's good to get their stamp of approval for sure. It resonates well with constituents, and the specific numbers help. Just a quick bit, marketing communications plans. A lot of marketers use promotional products in their sales efforts, in their donor relations efforts, in training efforts. Make sure when you're translating those communications and your sustainability efforts to go green in your promotional products. But again, you need to be very clear about being accused of greenwashing, because you can be a marketer and you can, of course, go green with your print, but that's not enough. If you're a socially responsible company like Avita, which is featured in the upper left-hand corner, it's okay. They won't get questioned about making a bamboo picture frame because they've been leading fighters for being good stewards of our environment in making products for years. But if you're a coal company and you do the same thing, I think consumers will probably look at that and scoff a little bit at that, because consumers are pretty smart and they can see hypocrisy and they can see things that don't smell right with them. And in an age where Twitter and Facebook are around, and if someone has a doubt about something, they'll just post it immediately online, without looking to substantiate their thought, if they're questioning a company. So you always need to think about, if does something pass the smell test? Does something seem appropriate to you and to seem right? You need to be specific. You need to tell the truth. And that's about it. I'll leave you with just a few high-level recommendations when you're developing your communications. View your organization's ability to address climate change as an opportunity, not a sacrifice. I get questions a lot about, will the quality of my direct mail or my marketing pieces or my presentations be less good if they're green? No, that's not true. You can actually go green, have the quality be excellent, have the pricing be in line, but it's an opportunity to communicate to your constituents. But be bold about it, but be transparent and communicate your efforts to your constituents. Communicate it, especially to your employees, because they're your leading brand ambassadors. And just use your approach as a competitive advantage. As more consumers and investors look to do business with green organizations, identify everything yours is doing to address climate change. And if you're not doing much, and you go green in your print, you should indicate, this is just a start. We're doing this to save paper and save energy and resources, but we know we need to do more, and we're going to keep you posted on our progress on our sustainability website.